Open it up. We're
Open it
back.
up.
Another week, another great day, another Cold Ones Conversations. What's going on, everyone? Hollywood Hair here, Harry Heaps, joined by the tremendous Brendan the Bod Petrilli. We're here for another week. It's AFC Champ Week. It's NFC Champ Week. We're here to bring you the Am I Dumb? We're here to talk some Belichik. We're here to talk all the football in the world. We're here to talk about money-making deals, drinking LaCroix, drinking brews in the Phillies Drinkers Cup. Trilly, tell the ladies and gentlemen, what do we got going on with our sponsor, Philly Drinker?
Dude, we got everything going on with the sponsor right now. I mean, Philly Drinkers is the way to go. PhillyDrinkers.com. We love everybody from the Baltimore area and beyond, but obviously the world revolves around Philadelphia sports.
Right.
So if you want the hats,
Dumpster
if
fire.
you want the cold one conversation mugs,
Yep.
but obviously you got to follow us. You got to follow us, Philly Drinkers, and post it because we're having a giveaway. We're gonna have a giveaway this upcoming week up until Super Bowl week. Hopefully
Yep.
the Vens are rocking and rolling. We're keeping this mojo all the way to the Super Bowl. But
Hell
we're giving
yes.
away a 4-pack of pint glasses that'll be perfect. We're gonna put the picture up like right here, maybe over here,
Yep.
wherever we want to put it. But they're beautiful pint glasses. It's our pint glass here, the Cold One Conversations. So that's worth it enough. The
Enough.
value just to share it and like and follow. But on top of that, a couple other Philly glasses along with it because we love Philly drinkers, and that's who we're rocking with all year long.
Ladies and gents, you got to remember, I announced last week the death of my mug. The death of my mug. I can't even get into the sweepstakes. I'm not even qualified.
You're
I
not.
can post, I can follow. I already do both.
You got to throw
But
the cash out for a new one. Is what
I
you
got to
got to
throw
do.
cash out. We're
You're
talking about
you're not as lucky as the people out there that can
the
get
Amex
not just
Gold.
one but 4 pint glasses. 4.
Four. That's absolutely right,
How
dude.
many? How many
Four.
passes? How many passes, Harry?
We're talking not
4.
one, not two, not trace.
Tree.
We're talking tree, excuse me, or as they say, tree. We're talking four, ladies and gents. 4 pint glasses. Follow us at Cold Ones Conversations on Instagram, at Philly Drinkers on Instagram. Tag us, put it on your Instagram story. Tag Brendan Petrilli, tag Harry Heaps, and we are good to go. Now, let's
Subscribe to
get
the
into the
pod
show.
also.
And I got to find out if we got to blur out the credit card that I showed. I showed the front, not
Nah,
the
you're
back.
good.
So I
You're
think the
good.
numbers are good.
You're
Okay,
good.
on to it.
Everybody saw the platinum card. They know you got the big money going up
They,
there
they, they
to
know
the
what we're doing.
RU.
Yeah.
Like they know the new job comes with new money. Like it is what it is.
it comes with new
The
money
the
and
Vens
bad
are the
bitches.
Vens are in the AFC Championship game. We got money all of a sudden. Like they know.
Yeah, we're acting like we've been there before. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The
No.
passion line. But we're not talking Vens yet. We're talking Bill Belichick. We're talking coaches getting hired left and right. We're talking a no.
Before Bill. Before Bill.
We're
The
talking a
greatest
no.
coach of all time.
This is a hiring extravaganza. No firing, only a couple firings. Hiring extravaganza. The NFL 2024 hiring extravaganza. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, starting with the national champion, a man of men, the blue of blue, going to the light blue, going back to the West Coast, going back to the NFL. What? Going back to being a champion. What? Coming to LA to make Justin Herbert no longer a biatch. That is Jim M. effing Harbaugh. He's back. I beat his ass already, so it doesn't matter. For a chip, no less. But dude, this is huge, man. He takes the job that we in many ways thought that Bill Belichick was going to take. I mean, obviously the pick has always been Jim, but when Bill came alive, it was like, will he go to LA? That job's now off the market. He's going to arguably one of the hardest divisions in all of football to crack into, which is the AFC West, with the current guy who is trying to catch the GOAT, Tom Brady, a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Um, this is huge, man. I think that Jim is going to do phenomenal in the NFL. I think it's going to take him a little while to get used to. He's no longer running boys and boys who are becoming men. He's running men. He's running grown-ass men who have grown-ass paychecks, who work their asses off. And he's doing it with a guy who's got paid a ton of money and really hasn't proven anything yet. But I love the hire for LA. I think the Chargers did a great job here in getting an offensive mind who understands how to create a defensive culture. Um, they got a former quarterback now as their head coach who's got a history with the organization in wearing those 90s throwback Chargers logos when they were in San Diego. I love it, dude. I love it, dude. What's your opinion on the Jim Harbaugh hire?
Yeah, the biggest thing is he traded in the maize and blue um to the powder blue.
Up to the powder.
Now the biggest question is, does he go candy ass like that powder blue?
Hmm.
Because what he built that culture up there in Michigan was hard-nosed football. Run the football, play defense. That's what the Chargers have been lacking.
Yep.
That's
Big
the
time.
those are the things that they've been lacking. They've had the quarterback, you got the running back,
Yep.
but their defense has been struggling. They haven't been able to run the ball consistently. Whether it was Eckler getting it out of the backfield or whatever, they haven't been able to run the ball downhill.
Mm, mm.
And I think that's the biggest thing he's going to try to bring back to that football team out west. And the biggest thing that they're missing, they need to get back to this comfortability for Herbert to rely on a run game. And it's not just all Justin go out there and ball. You
Ball.
know, what we've been talking about all year with a bunch of these quarterbacks. You got to get the pressure off of these guys a little bit. They have all the talent in the world, but you have to build it up around them. You see it left and right. Once these guys get the pressure put on them, that it's on you. It's hard to replicate. It's
Yeah.
hard to get it done. And I think Jim Harbaugh has the right mindset for that team to go out there and we need to build this defense and we have to build a hard-nosed offensive side of the football. And I think that's what he's going to bring out there. He's going to tell Justin, we don't need to sling it for 500 yards a game. You know,
Yep.
if we can get 250, three tutties through the air, no interceptions, that's going to win us football games because I believe in this defensive scheme that I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
bring in here and we're going to get the job done. Where
Yeah.
Justin hasn't been able to rely on that his whole career. You know, they've been just going through the air slugfest every
Yep.
single week
Yep.
for his whole career out there. That's going to be a change of it. And you saw it where a lot of the times where after even before they won that championship up in Michigan, where everybody was saying how much Jim Harbaugh has talked to them. These sources have talked about how Herbert was his guy. How much
Mm-hmm.
they would say, what quarterback do you like the most? He would always talk about how Herbert's got this, he's got that, he's got all the talent in the world. He's got his
Yep.
guy now. You saw him be able to do that with San Fran. They had a stout defense there the whole time, and he was
Mm-hmm.
always able to make it work with a quarterback that he had out there. They were able to build offensive schemes around the quarterback that they had. Now he's got an elite talent out there in not San Fran, in LA now. And it's going to be interesting to see. You got some weapons. They're getting a little older. It's going to be fun to watch, but I like that hire a lot.
I love the hire for the specific reason to take actually the light off of Herbert.
Yeah.
Let's call it how it is, dude. You can't have the defensive personnel that you have and be the joke that you've been
They got
year
guys
in, year out.
all over that defense.
Paychecks all over,
Yeah.
millions upon millions of dollars in pass rush, in secondary, in free safety to get the job done to create, honestly, the type of environment that Baltimore's created this year. Get after the quarterback, make a play like Kyle Hamilton, get a pick six, get a turnover that your quarterback can punch it through. And the truth of the matter is, to your point, dude, Justin's always been playing catch up. He's been always playing snot nosed football. And it's like, unless Eckler can get him that relief, and if he can't find Keenan Allen, who's he really going to at times? And I think the original point that you brought up, what is the standard and what is the culture that Jim has created? We run the ball down your throat, and our boys on defense, they meet you in the trenches. And they have three and out, three and out, three and out, three and out. That's what they want to create. I'm gonna tell you, man, I think that there's a real possibility that Jim might shake a lot of things up in LA. I could see them, moving off of Khalil Mack, seeing if they can get draft capital. You're talking about the guy who just won the national championship, who knows this year coming out for the draft probably better than anybody else, better than any scout, better than any NFL head coach, the guy who just went and beat everybody else to get there and win it all. So I could see him moving off of a few players, making a few moves. Obviously, he's not making a play for a quarterback. He's got the guy, a guy where there's a lot of money invested in, a guy who could potentially be great, but it's not there yet. But let me ask you, when do you think does the hiring of Jim Harbaugh alone get them 10 wins?
Hmm. It's a good question. I say yes, just because of the pure talent that they already have on that roster.
I agree with that. I think that they're a 10-7 team right now. And I think that
Before adding guys.
before adding guys, before getting draft capital,
Now
with
the
what,
now the
yeah,
division is good and it's gonna get better. I
right?
would think. Well, we were saying it if you go back to our previous episodes, if you're watching on the YouTube and on Spotify and everything else, or with our breakdowns of the division, we kind of
Wherever you get
thought,
your podcasts,
yeah,
wherever.
we were going back and we were talking maybe the Raiders can make a run, maybe the
Mm-hmm.
Broncos can make a run a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Chargers. These teams fell flat. Why? Because of coaching. Straight
Yep.
up. That's
Straight
it.
up.
Like if they had strong guys at the helm to get this thing done, this would have been way different because the Chiefs were vulnerable for a lot of this year. Now they're making a run for it for another Super Bowl, which is kind of
Super Bowl.
scary,
Right.
and we'll get to that in a little bit, but it was up there. The teams have gotten younger throughout this division. It's up for grabs, especially with a quarterback like that in Herbert. They need the right guy in there to
Yep.
set the culture. They need a Dan Campbell. They need a Nick Sirianni maybe to set the culture to get this team
They
going in the right
needed, yeah,
direction.
they needed Antonio Pierce. We see that that's what
Yeah,
the Raiders are doing. To your
yeah,
point about culture,
yeah.
he's been the only guy who's been able to get the guys in the locker room to really lock in.
Yeah.
And so I think to your point right there, dude, again, when I started with this original question, do they get 10 wins? I think by year two, with Jim's direction, changes, overall coaching, systematic schemes, whoever else he's going to bring with him, I'm sure he's probably going to change the DC. Maybe bring the guy from Michigan with him. Um, I mean, dude, by year two, they've got to be winning 12 games. They've got to be making a run to win the AFC West.
Jim's not coming there to mess around. He's
Straight
he's
up.
leaving a national championship team that he built up. He built that Michigan culture from losers. They were
Yep.
losers for a
Yep.
decade plus, to where they were finally beating Ohio State for 3+ years in a row. They were dominating them from running the football, playing defense. He built that whole culture. He's not coming to the NFL to mess around. He knows
No.
he's got his guy at quarterback, and he knows he can build the rest of the team around it. He's not there to mess around.
He's
This
here to
is
win a
his
ring.
time to build
Yeah.
that franchise up again.
He's here 100. And the thing about Justin is the type of quarterback that frankly he can't win. We've seen it. He can't win on his own accord without getting the right coach. A guy like Patrick can win without Andy Reid. I believe that
Think
hurt.
so?
Absolutely. I
Well,
think
at this point, yes, yes. At this point, yeah. But
I mean, I
Andy's
would
a
say
big part of it.
a
Of
100%, a hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
And there's only a few. I mean, listen, dude, I'll go on a bat and say I think that Hurts is a guy that could go on and win with any head coach. And I'm not saying that to blow smoke. I think that I've
Well,
sung his praises. I
we'll
think
have
that
to
he's
see.
got that potential. Now, listen, if he gets Billy Bell, watch out, watch out. We'll get to that in a moment. But another guy who can win on his own accord, who could have back in his day in his prime, was Russell. Russell, when he was cooking those 2 years going to the Super, doesn't matter who the head coach was. Russell was destined for greatness. Paired with that defense, paired with the offensive weapons that they had, having Marshawn Lynch in the back, the way that he would spread the pocket, and then the Legion of Boom year after year, he's winning no matter what. Tom Brady winning no matter what. There's only a few guys you could say that about. Aaron Rodgers is not one of those guys. Arguably the greatest thrower of the football, not one of those guys. Justin Herbert isn't. So thankfully, he's got the guy that I think can push him over the hump, get it done. And we'll see how it goes, dude. But this is their time. They got to make a run. The Chiefs have never been weaker. They will be back. And yet, when they've never been weaker, they're going to an AFC championship.
Yeah.
So you got to throw the kitchen sink at it.
On
And
the
I think the
power of Taylor Swift almost, but
when
yeah.
are we going to find out what that contract was? I want to know what they're
Yeah.
paying.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. Have you?
Yeah,
No.
no. I want to know what they gave him because my question is, do you think that he had any phone calls with any other teams before it officially broke that he was meeting with the Chargers?
They talked about him talking about it with the Falcons, but we'll get to the Falcons in a second, which is kind of shocking. The Falcons weren't offering anything that enticed these big name guys to actually
No,
go there. They weren't going to put the big money.
no.
So, did the Chargers really need to throw the big money at Jim here to get him away from these other franchises? Because obviously that wasn't the case, right? Like, like Jim
No,
was
I
going to get
mean,
his money no matter what. I think Jim's biggest thing was he got his prize. He's sitting at the big boy table, like you said, with his dad and with his brother with a championship, right? His
right.
dad with a national championship at the lower levels of college football. He's
Yeah,
got the D1. He lost to his brother and the Ravens back in the day for a Super
yeah.
Bowl. He wants to get back there and he wants to prove everybody that he wants to prove that
Huge
he's the
family
biggest
guy.
guy at that table.
Huge family guy.
He wants
Like
to prove he's the biggest.
I 100% agree. You can tell that when you listen to
And I don't
Harbaugh's
think money's a factor for that. If he thinks it's the right place and the right time for him, he's gonna go.
Oh, that I totally agree with. I think that he definitely wants to get paid. I mean, listen, he was going to probably get a lifetime He's probably, in all honesty, dude. I mean, I think that if Jim would have stayed at Michigan, he was going to get the contract that what's his name at Penn State has, if
Oh
not
wow.
bigger. I
Hmm.
guarantee 10 years.
Yeah,
Like
Franklin.
you're our guy for the next decade, literally for the next decade.
Hmm.
Um, and I agree with your point. Jim was going to go to whatever system was best because you're right. He wants to be that big guy at the table. He now can sit at the table. He wants to be the head of it. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, we the ones, WWE for life, coming to Philly this April.
You might have to go.
Point is, dog, that was a
It's gonna be lit.
mouthful. That was a mouthful and a half. It is. Dude, I think you're right. I think that Jim was going to the best situation. If he wasn't going to go to LA, though, my question is, where was he going to go? If
Well,
Jim didn't, yeah,
when you look at it, the Falcons were in the big talks with Jim, with Bill, finally
yep,
get an established guy in there, and all of a
yep,
sudden we were talking before we started recording. It was for like an hour plus. Harry was listening to me
yeah,
go on and on, but it was a good conversation. We needed to have it, but
yeah, business.
the Falcons go and they hire the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, Raheem Morris,
Mm,
at head coach. You go from talking about two of the biggest fishes going in there and possibly taking over the helm and doing everything for this franchise to get off of that stink of the 28-3, to get off of the
yep,
stink of being so close, but the dirty birds that just can't get it done. And you bring
yep.
in another somewhat younger guy, unestablished. Raheem Morris has been around the block and he's a great coach, but you're talking about two of the greatest guys, and you couldn't entice them to sign up and be like, "Yep, we're in."
That you're not doing everything to get them in here. These are the potential guys to push you over winning the NFC South and not only winning the NFC South, being in the playoff, being a playoff contender when you haven't been for years. You've been a joke. You've been a laughing stock of the NFL. I mean, and you think about it like what we saw, first of all, whoever bet on Derek Carr, absolutely crazy. But that guy
Yeah,
sucks. Dead in the water,
sucks.
sucks, right? I mean, just pure sucks.
He had a
So, to my
strong last
opinion,
couple games of the year, though.
he did. He redeemed himself for the Lord and for the
Nah,
money.
for
Um,
not for what we were hyping him up to be. Number one
my
seed of the
number one
NFC.
seed.
Not we,
So
Harry Heaps, but whatever.
correct. My question is though that when we look at it, right, I truly think that if it wasn't going to be LA, it was going to be Chicago, right? That number one overall pick. He's got ties to the city. We're saying everything that anybody else has said, but he's been there. Now, I think that Jim is a West Coast guy. I think he's wanted to go back. You made that point before too. Um, Turning to the Bill conversation now, what's odd to me is, man, I'm not even actually. I'm not going to address the Bill thing. I want to
Real,
stick on
real
the
quick,
Atlanta
real
part.
quick.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Bill said no to the Falcons.
100%.
That's why that move happened with Raheem Morris.
100%. But here's my question to you, and I don't even want to go here too early. But do you realize that in about a month from now, there are two coordinators who are going to be available who have led the Ravens to having a possible Super Bowl berth that we're going to see on Sunday occur, the league MVP, and the number one defense in the league that only allowed 3 points in their first playoff game against the Texans. You're going to have two all-time coordinators available for head coaching positions, whether we win the Super Bowl or not, which we will. So my question to you is, Shrill, what makes the Falcons, if you can't get Bill, jump the gun like that when you know that you're about to have two candidates? You've seen what they've done. One guy has helped lead Lamar Jackson to become the MVP of the league. The other guy has created and coordinated the best defense in the league. Why do you jump the gun?
It's a great question. It's a great question. And I think it's for the betterment for you, obviously, because
100%.
you're going to keep those guys moving forward.
I pray to God.
Like, because you're not going to have those coordinators leave at this point, for the most part, from what it seems like, because where they're going to upgrade. And that's where you've seen these teams go and flip and have to readjust. And you've seen it with the Ravens over the past couple of years. Have to keep readjusting and readjusting to new coordinators. That'll be for the betterment for that team. But it comes down to ownership. Like, the owner wanted his guy, and
This guy, he didn't get it.
Now Raheem Morris might be a great coach. He might be. He's done a great job out there for a team that that lost a lot of pieces. You still had Aaron Donald. You drafted great with a couple third-round picks on that defensive side of the football. That offense has been able to stay together with Matt Stafford and Puka and
which has been crazy, by the way, that draft in Puka.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God.
That whole draft, the two third-round defensive picks on the D line. Yeah, that team has been able to stay together. And I think when they looked at it, that franchise just has no viability of being able to go to those coordinators that the Ravens have and be like, come to us. You couldn't even get Bill. I mean, not even not even entice him a little bit. You had 2-3 meetings with him and it failed, right? What does that mean that you're going to be able to go to these other guys now that are established, maybe coming off a Super Bowl, hopefully for the Ravens' sake, obviously, but he jumped the gun 100%.
100%.
If you weren't going to get Bill or Jim, you had to wait it out.
And so in contrast, you know what's interesting to me is that when you look in a parallel, you got the Seattle Seahawks.
They're waiting.
They're waiting. With a Super Bowl under their belt in the last 12 years, with 2 Super Bowl appearances in the last 11 years, that organization knows how to take their time because a candidate will become available from wherever a candidate's going to become available. It doesn't matter where, someone will. Now, do I think that Bill's going to Seattle? No, I don't. But what I would say there is you notice the difference in an organization structure by the way that they hire. And I think the clear point that we're making is Atlanta's going to just keep doing what they do, which is honestly probably fail.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Bill. And then we'll get to
hold on real quick. Is this a hot take? I don't know if I'm going to let it rip. Ever since Mike Vick went to jail, that franchise has been a mess. Fact or fiction?
Oh my God.
You had Matt Ryan. You had an MVP.
Hey, Mike Vick's come back.
Hey, he was on my Eagles. He was my starting quarterback. I love Mike Vick. Yeah. But ever since he went to jail, that franchise
has been downhill.
It's been a joke. They haven't had to find any stability.
They had Matt Ryan and they had a Super Bowl berth, but then they
didn't win. They blew the biggest
Biggest lead
lead.
of all time. Yeah.
You want to talk about choke jobs? I mean,
Yeah.
other Matt Ryan was great. Philly, hey, Penn Charter, you know, but that franchise can't figure it out
Can't figure it out. No, they
ever
can't.
since. Ever
They can't.
since.
Yeah. Mike Vitt, you know what? Let's send that into Colin Cowherd next time they have him on. All right. And then he can answer the question. Let's
Should I
talk Bill
cut that?
here.
I don't know. I feel like
I,
that's a good take.
it is a good take. I mean, but if you take it, you got to put it on your own Instagram, and I'll just heart it and say, "Great job, dog." All right. Here's my question to you: where the hell do we see barrel chested, pepperoni nippled Bill Belichick going? I mean, where is he?
Does he sit out a year? No way Bill sits a year.
I heard a great take from Schefter last week, I think it was, or maybe it was on Monday. But he talked about how when Tom left, there were no buyers for Tom. There was only two.
Yeah. On
You
McAfee,
heard
everybody.
that. Yeah, you heard
Yeah.
this. Sam Fran to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody thought he was washed up. They saw past him. He's done. He's not with the Patriots anymore. He goes on, wins a Super Bowl. And Schefter made the point that everyone's doing that with Bill. And I agree with that. But to me, specifically, what I want to ask you is when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, when I look at the Giants, when I look at the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm taking three NFC East teams here,
I got one team I'm thinking, but I'll let you keep cooking.
but we're talking about three teams right now who share similarities besides just being in the same division. Let's take the Eagles first. Have a great quarterback, have paid him. He's the real deal, but defense is the issue. Bill is the defensive whisperer. Let's take the Giants. Can hold the quarterback to a standard, make a regimented schedule for them the way he did for Tom Brady. Get either Daniel Jones to work or get him out of town and make that defense work with all the young talent that New York franchise has. And then you've got Dallas, who's got tremendous firepower left and right, a quarterback who can play at a high level when he decides to, offensive talent left and right that can score at will, and a defense that shows up fast and quick to put you on your ass. Talk about a match made in heaven for him. And yet none of these teams are currently making a possible entryway for Bill to come in. And for me, all three of those teams, specifically Dallas and the Eagles, are 100%. They're not in the NFC conversation. They're in the Super Bowl conversation with him at the helm. Like, I'll make one thing clear to you, dude. If Dallas had gotten rid of Mike McCarthy and Bill won, you should step aside. You guys are done. And I would say the same thing if the Eagles got Bill. So why is this not, to keep it strictly in the NFC, East, but then looking broadly, why are teams not opening the floodgates for this guy? Because I don't get it.
The reason the Eagles haven't done it is because you got rid of Chip after 3. You got rid of Doug after 3. Doug won you a Super Bowl. And I think Howie and Jeffrey didn't want to be the people that just they didn't want that to be the stigma on them, or that they were gonna cave to the pressure of the fan base, that they weren't gonna just be guys that just flipped through. They didn't want to be the franchise that just kept cycling
Sure.
guys through. Because Nick has done a
Yep.
good job. Has he done a great job?
Great.
I
I
don't
would
know.
say great job. Great job. 2 years of Super Bowl appearance. Great
Yeah,
job.
yeah. Been to the playoffs all 3 years, winning record every 3 years. He's done good. Has he lost the locker room? It can be fixed, you think, you hope. That's what they're
You hope.
hoping.
You hope.
But it seems like you've stripped him of everything at this point from their press conference the other day, where he's saying, well, Nick, what do you do? I'm the head coach. Well, why are you bringing in a new OC? Well, we want to freshen things up. Okay. Is it still going to be your offense? We're open to new ideas. So that's coming from up top. With like,
Up
hey,
top. Right.
we need to freshen this up. We need to get things right. We love you, Nick. We think you can do the job. but you
But
need
you
to
need
let
help.
other
You need help.
guys to
Yeah.
help you out. You need the Dan Campbell, well, not even the Nick Sirianni have guys help you get to that position.
So can I pause you real quick though? This has been the thing that's been brought up about Bill. And Bill, in a desperate attempt, says, I'm willing to relinquish. I'm willing to give up power. I'm
Nick
willing
did
to do
it.
this, that.
Yeah, he
Right.
gave
And
up his
Nick,
coaching and everything.
but so
Or
my point is, if Bill is making that clear that he'll do it, the stigma thing is that big for these guys?
I guess, man. I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
asked him that question. I not that I'm aware of diving through the interview. Like, there's these because I guess you got the head coach sitting right there.
Yeah.
Even though people had the balls to say pretty much, "What do you do here?"
What do you
to
do?
him, you didn't go to the general manager and be like, you have the greatest coach of all time out there
Available, right?
available. Why didn't you take a meeting with him?
Yeah. That's the best way of putting it. Why didn't you take a meeting?
Yeah.
What
And
stopped
we
you?
won't know. We won't.
So then my question again to you is now let's look at those other two NFC teams that I brought up
Dallas, I feel like should have done it. Jerry, he
more than
doesn't.
anyone.
Jerry doesn't give a
Yeah.
flying f. We try to keep it.
We're
Try
keeping
to
it
keep it
clean.
PG. Yeah,
This is
but
two weeks in a row. We're doing good with that.
yeah, of course, of course. But he would be the one that you would have thought would have just flipped it over.
Yeah.
But why do you care about that fat face guy and Mike McCarthy that much? The way that he's run that organization, Jerry has over the past 3 decades at this point, you can't just get rid of him and just be like, hey, we're bringing in the
Mm,
best coach of all time
mm.
and we're going to let that cook. I think it's a bigger thing down there and I love it. I'm okay with it.
Of course. Out of respect. Okay. So then when you look at the league broadly, though, you know, a division that I think is locked coaching wise, without a doubt. AFC North. Every single one of those guys works, is making it happen. Competitive football team, hardest division in football. Everybody's staying. Okay. Let's go to another division, the AFC South. The Titans opening. Bill's not going to Tennessee. He's not taking over as Guy Rabel. If anything, he's going to
He's
try to
another
bring.
guy that's still out there, which is kind of crazy.
And Rabel will get signed somewhere. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that. I'm going to tell you right now, dude. I think that we're going to find out. Let me throw out a hot idea to you. I'm going to tell you a position that I think is going to open up. I was saying it months ago. You didn't believe me. I was calling somebody else. I'm going to tell you the opportunity that I actually think Bill may go to. And if not him, maybe Rabel. But for Bill, this would be talk about a Batman move
Vrabel. V.
to the Bills.
Yeah, that's the team I was saying I had
I
earlier.
mean, I mean, dude, if he talk about a guy that could get Josh Allen over the hump. That's it. That's
Do-
it.
Does Kraft let him go, knowing that he can go within the division though, like that?
But they did. They
I
already
know
did it.
it's already past it. I know. I agree. I
That's
agree.
what makes no sense, dude. Like they gotta like what is
I get the
so
respect for Bill and everything he's done, but you're just gonna let him go within the division like that?
but
That even though there wasn't an opportunity at the time,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a crazy question. Because this is honestly probably the most plausible one that's totally off. You know what? This is breaking news that Cold One's conversation is going to call right now. Will Bill Belichick be the next head coach of the New York Jets? When Aaron and him, after that game, get together and hug,
I don't
both
hate that.
before and after, when we know that Aaron isn't sold on Salah, and when we know that that defense is phenomenal, he can bring them to a Ravens 2000 era. And if you have Bill and Aaron Rodgers as the head coach and quarterback, you're telling me that they're not going to find a way to go get Devontae Adams?
I don't hate that.
I
What
mean
has
that.
Salah earned in New York?
No, I mean nothing. I mean he's, in my opinion, they can ride with him, but
He's
it's the
been
same.
fine. He's been good for the talent that he's had at the quarterback position. But we're talking. Yeah, we're talking
Listen,
about a last ride
last right. Listen, I'm going to say this: if you're going to
for a
let go,
franchise that has been so bad.
if you're going to let go of Pete Carroll, why have you not let go of Robert Saleh?
Yeah, yeah, that I could see it.
I could see
Cliff,
it too. And I
Cliff.
think that Aaron would look like, you want to talk about Aaron playing longer than this year. That's the guy that gets him to do it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the guy that gets him to do it. Bill brings them to, I mean, dude, we talked about a million times. I bet them before they
That
even got
defense
Aaron,
with that talent, everything.
they'll
If
win the
Aaron can be
division.
healthy, yeah,
They'll
100%.
win the division.
He's yeah,
They'll win
yeah.
it easily. They'll get 12
They're
wins, 13
automatically a
wins.
top five favorite next year betting wise.
Without it to win it all.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
they're a top
Totally
five
agree.
team.
They'll go from literally middle of the pack to top.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
And if I was him, that's where I'd be taking the meeting.
Salah gets demoted to DC. No.
What do you think would happen with him? I think that he would end up on some staff.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many different options out there that because everybody always talks about there's only 32 jobs out there. It's the
Mm,
least amount of jobs out there for a position, right? For the
yeah.
high value as it is. They're dwindling. And you got Rivera, you got Vrabel, you got Pete Carroll, who knows what he's going to do out there if he's going to stay in that upper echelon part of the franchise there.
Yeah.
They're waiting. Supposedly everybody was saying Dan Quinn. Why would you get Dan Quinn at this point?
He's an
You
idiot. He's an
yeah,
idiot.
like their defense got toasted.
Again, another guy. What has he done?
Yeah,
What
no.
has he done? And dude, what is it about still hiring defensive guys that really haven't won when we're seeing that offense is what dominates? Like Bill gets hired because he's a defensive guy who's won,
Hmm.
but you're hiring Atlanta's hiring a guy from LA when they coming off a horrible year the year before and they did okay this year and did come back, but like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't know. I love the idea of Bill to the Jets, though. I love it.
I like it too. I like it too. Let
All
us know
right.
what you think
Let us know
out
what you
there.
think in the comments. And
Yeah.
let us know what you think about the giveaway that's occurring when you follow Brandon Petrilli, Harry Heaps, Cole One Conversations, and Philly Drinkers, and you tag us in the Instagram bio. We're talking 4 mugs, ladies and gentlemen. 4. That's another plug for you, Philly Drinkers. 4. Okay. Should we hit Am I Dumb?
Yep. Let's hit it.
All right, I'm going to go first. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have trouble with names. But have you ever had such trouble with names that someone came up to you, they introduced themselves to you, you introduced yourself to them, and within a matter of under 2 minutes, you walked up to them, you looked them in the eye, and you called them by the wrong name? I did that. I did it today. I
How
met,
many times did they say your name? Said their name to you?
they said it 4 times in the conversation.
4 times they said their name?
And
Oh,
then I walked over.
oh no.
So I met a very nice coworker today. She was very nice, and we were just talking about our jobs and you know how they correlate and the team. And I see a message from IT talking about having that I have to reach out to Charlotte for a standing desk. I walk over and I say, "Hey, Charlotte, do you know where I get a standing desk?" And she just
Mm,
looked at me.
yeah.
And I said, "I just called you Charlotte, didn't I?" And she said, "You did." And I said, "I'm really sorry that I just did that." And I turned and I walked away with my tail between my legs.
You didn't follow through with the conversation.
No, I just walked out. I just had to get out of there. It was done. It was done, dog. When the plane's going down, when it's on fire, when the place is burning, you didn't take out the right insurance policy, just get the hell out.
That's better than Nick Sirianni. He's still hanging around
He
for
is,
dear
dog.
life.
He
You
is.
didn't
He's
you didn't go, wait, I know your name. I know your name. It's Sarah. She's like, nope. You're like, oh. Like
Imagine if I would have
it
done
begins with
that.
an S and she goes, no, an A. And you're like, ah.
That would have been brutal, dog. But I'm glad I got out of there. Who knows if they'll invite me back? Maybe another week. We'll see.
We'll
All right,
see.
what's your am I done?
Am I dumb for the week? Oh wow. Drawing a blank all of a sudden. I had one. My am I dumb for the week? Other than forgetting almost what am I dumb? Shout out to the Zimbabwe's, but for helping me remember. And you can go to Philly Drinkers and get your stickers,
Mm.
the Zimbabwe stickers. But am I dumb to just go about my daily life and have my parents just be like, "No, we're living at home still. We're working through it. We're hardworking men. Not everybody has the big Amex card like Harry Heaps." But just two days before, my parents go, "Oh, what are you doing Friday?" I'm like, I'm working X to Y, right? Like, oh, so you can bring your mom and I to Brooklyn, all of a sudden on Friday morning. I'm just like, oh, I can. And you all of a sudden you find yourself as this recording is out there live. We're probably gonna listen to this in the car ride up there, but
Mm.
now all of a sudden I got to drive 2 hours up to Brooklyn to drop my parents off for a cruise, and then drive 2 hours back and go to work till like midnight. Am I dumb for that? Like, am I that disconnected with life,
I
or
mean,
is that just how I got to roll with it?
are they gonna tip you the small 50 at least? Are they
I'm
gonna
not
bring you
getting
something back from
my
the
dad's gonna
cruise?
say we just had a bill, an electric bill because you got the fan on overnight because you like to sleep with the fan on. You know, like,
He hits
dude,
you with the fan and the
yeah,
electricity?
no,
Oh, jeez.
but like you just installed the bidet on the toilet. That raised the water bill up 50 cents. All right.
How
Like,
is that bidet?
it
Does
was
it work?
fantastic. Fantastic.
Bring us through. What does that look like?
Dude, oh man, you get done, you sit down there, you get your job done. And all of a sudden you're sitting there and sometimes it gets a little ugly, depending on what kind of ply you get. Now we gotta keep the secret. I've been buying like the good stuff and I keep it in my bedroom, like the ply. I get the double ply rolls and I keep it in the bedroom and I'll bring it into the bathroom with me, you know,
What do
just
you
from
have normally?
I'm single. Like
One
my parents aren't
single.
my parents aren't buying the good stuff. Come on. Well, we went to private school. Three kids through private school. How do you think
Oh,
we
God.
afforded it?
Single
That's
ply.
yeah,
Single ply.
exactly. But
Single ply.
now we're at the point where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna splurge on a 4 pack, just for myself.
Yeah, you're
So
gonna
like
keep it a hunch.
you bring the double ply in there, and you got the bidet. You got to make sure you spread it out though, so you get it up in there, hit the hole nice, clean it out, and then
Nice.
you get the nice wipe. But like, am I dumb for like not paying that much attention to all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be gone for the week?
Yeah. I think you're getting used and abused, brother. I think you're getting used and abused.
Probably.
It's a bad
We'll,
day.
we'll take it. We'll take it. Whatever.
Enough of Am I Dumb? We're giving you the AFC and the
Are we dumb?
NFC
Are we dumb? It's very much so.
playoff picture. Let's talk NFC championship first. We are talking the Lions, the grit of the NFL on the road to San Francisco 49ers. The over and under, ladies and gentlemen, is set at 51.5 with the line. Lions are catching 7 points after having a very ugly first half against Tampa Bay and then coming back and squashing them. Trilly, the weakest part of this 49ers team is a guy that was thought to be the MVP of the league. It's the quarterback play. And I'm going to tell you, when you get to this end of this part of the season, it comes down to two things: who's got the best defense and who's got the better quarterback. Now, the better defense goes to San Francisco, but the better quarterback goes to Jared Goff. I don't like the spread. I think 7 points is wonky. I think that's way too big for the 49ers to cover, yet I almost think they could
People
get
saying
away
it was
with
a
it.
trap.
It is a trap. I mean, the question is Debo playing?
It's a good
If
question.
Debo's out, it's Lions all day to cover. If Debo's out. And I would even say they were a sneaky win. I think the Lions are going to a Super Bowl. What's
I
going
hope
to be
so.
hard is that they're having to do it on the road. If this was in Detroit, I think the game is set.
I thought of my other. Am I dumb too? By the way, for
After
the
for the P. We'll do it at the
Yeah,
PS at the end of the show.
yeah, yeah,
Public service announcement.
yeah.
PSA.
So stay tuned. It's a good one
PSA.
too. It's a good
It's
one.
a good one. But I got to know from you, man. We saw them struggle in that first half. They come out then guns a-blazing. They win that game. They put 31 on Tampa Bay. They're going against a 49ers team who narrowly snuck by Green Bay, who won by 3. I bet Green Bay to win outright.
Green Bay should have won that game.
Green Bay absolutely should have won that
Jordan
game in the
Love
future.
caved.
He's dangerous.
He caved in that game though. Two bad picks.
I
Bad
know.
picks.
And again, that goes to the point that I just made. Defense first, then the quarterback second when it comes to this season, this time of the season in football, this time of the year, this late in the game, go into an AFC, NFC championship.
And
But
I
what I
think
would
that's going
ask
to be
you,
the downfall of that 49ers team because Brock
yeah,
Purdy was just as bad.
there you
He
go.
came up and he made the biggest drive of his life.
And you're
Finally.
and you're talking about a
But it was
Lions
only
team.
in the divisional.
And
And
you're
that's
talking
it.
about a Lions team, dude, who's playing with all the heart in the world. Like they're not supposed to be here. The one team that's not supposed to be here, though they've been good, no one expected the Lions to get this good over the last 3 years. No one expected them to be going to an NFC championship. They've drafted well. Golf has shown up. They've got a real deal head coach. Dude, did you see the photo about the GM after they won their first game, their first playoff game? How he started as a NFL intern while working clothing retail after school, and now he's a GM, and he assembled a team that is now going on to their NFC championship in over 2 decades.
That's what
More than
Howie
that, over
that's
3
that's
decades.
what Howie was for the Eagles.
Exactly. So, and that heart and soul, and look
Yeah.
at what the Eagles did in 2017. Went
Look
on
what the
and
Eagles have
won
done for the 2000s,
for the 2000s, right? Year after year of NFC championships, year after year of going to now Super
What the
Bowls.
Ravens have done,
Absolutely. Eric DeCosta, John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, Joe Flacco. So my question to you is, dude, I think that the only thing besides that defensive component that has shown that they can get picks in the playoffs that the 49ers have going for them is their home field advantage. That and Christian McCaffrey. Besides that, dude, Jared Goff's going to throw it all over the field. Their defense is going to show up. The coaching is going to be as good on the line side as it is going against whatever the hell his name is for San Francisco. I don't know, man. What do you think? First of all, what do you think about the game? But then, what do you think about the line and the bet?
I need that pass rush to get home for the
Mm.
Lions. I need Hutch. I
Yeah,
need
you
the
need
rest of
Hutch to
that.
play.
I need that the rest of that D line to get home. I love CJ Gardner Johnson. As much as he wants to say that Philly talked smack on him on the way out, which we didn't. We were okay with you leaving. He was mad that the Eagles let him go.
Uh-huh.
But I love him. I think he's a great player and he's a great fit that finally came back from injury. They need to get pressure so guys like him can make plays
Yeah.
because the plays are to be had out there
Mm.
because these balls aren't perfect all the time.
Mm.
And that Packers defense wasn't able to make the plays
Yeah.
to get the to flip the field
Late
for
in
that
game.
team.
Late in
Because they
game.
were to be had. They were to be had all over in the first 3 quarters.
Mm.
And change into the fourth quarter because Brock couldn't feel his hands
Feel
with
it
the
in his
rain.
hands.
Now the conditions are going to be different, but you need to get after him. You need to get after him. You need that defensive line to make it happen because that's what you
Yeah.
see. When Brock struggles is when a D line can make and affect him. If he gets pressure, he can't throw the ball like he can. The margin of error
Yes.
is not there.
Yes. No, the Lions, for the Lions to win this game, they've got to force San Francisco to that the only way that they can beat them is with their defense.
Yeah. And
That, that
you
that's got to
need
be the Lions game
you
plan.
need Goff to be able to control the game. Get the
Yep.
ball in Amon-Ra, get the ball to Laporta, to Craig Reynolds. Shout out. He killed our bet last week, but we love him. Shout out Abington, the 19038 getting a touchdown. But you need to run the ball with Gibbs and with Montgomery, Reynolds.
Montgomery. Mm.
Got to control that clock. And I think they can do it.
Well, that's another big thing is the game management. I mean, dude, if you can make sure that San Francisco's not getting the ball and slow drive, slow
They've
drip,
developed that team around Golf. That O line
big
is
time.
nasty. You know,
Big time.
that's the way you've seen teams be able to win football games in the playoffs is
Yep.
controlling it. The way you see the Ravens doing it. I was watching. You see three O linemen. The way like the 2017 Eagles team, you had three guys just coming out and just barreling down
And just
in the
moving
hash
people.
marks, out in the
Yep.
hashes. Just three big ass motherfuckers.
Yeah,
The
dude.
first one of the podcast coming straight down on you, and just you just all you see is 300-pound men running full force. That's what this Lions
That's
team
how it's
can do
supposed
to
to
you.
be. That's how
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. Right. And because when you have that, when you create the environment for your quarterback to see the field throughout the course of 4 quarters, if he's getting it to his guys and the separation comes from the Lions personnel, dude, you absolutely can keep it close. We know that outside of the Lions playing the Ravens, the Lions can play with anybody. I mean, we 33-3. Outside of that, dude, they've had a stellar schedule. So,
Now,
yeah,
the
man,
49ers have the recipe of that Ravens defense that they have guys that can go sideline to sideline in that
absolutely they do.
linebacker core. They do.
Yep. Yep. They've got guys that can go north to south all day long, just like they go east to west. Yep.
Yeah.
Big
And
time.
that's the biggest thing that they haven't been able to answer when it comes down to it. But I like this Lions team. I think seven, it's a lot of points, and they want you to take the Lions.
That's where I think the trap is, though,
Yeah.
is that they want you to take the Lions
And then all of a
because
sudden we can be looking at it. It's like 34 to like 14. This
team,
game's over
yeah.
by the third quarter. And we're like, God damn it. The 49ers are
Again,
going to it. And everybody's going to
yeah.
say that the Eagles didn't deserve the championship. Whatever. That's what's going to happen.
The only way that the Lions win this game
The Lions
is
had
within four.
fun. The Lions had fun. It was a great year. They got
Right.
to the playoffs. They had a
Right.
great run. They'll be there for years to come, but then they'll
Right.
never get back. And the 49ers, that's a nightmare scenario.
So let me ask you a question. Let's play this out. Let's say that what we want to happen happens and the Lions win this game.
The
Where
Ravens
does
are winning the bowl.
well, that's the Ravens are winning the bowl guaranteed. We've beat everybody who's left besides.
You did beat down the 49ers. I agree.
Excuse me. Let me bring you through the list. Beat down at home, Detroit. Beat down at home, Miami. Beat down on the road, San Fran. Shall I go on? About to beat down KC. I mean, it doesn't matter. But here's my question to you.
Hopefully.
If Brock Purdy loses for the second time in the NFC Championship, is he going to continue to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. Because they can look at it and be like, there's options. Well, what are the better options out there, though?
Of who you can honestly get?
Like, is Baker an upgrade? No. I love Baker.
No, but I think
Oh, with that team, though, Baker could do it.
Russell is, believe it or not.
Yeah, but
And he's
I guess they're going to flip him probably.
he's moving out.
Yeah.
And the 49ers need to win soon. Dude, if they don't win soon, they're
That
done.
team is.
If they don't get to a Super Bowl, dude, they're like you are wasting away this time. You have assembled an effort. You got the cheat code in the backfield. You've got what did Tony Soprano say one time? Why do you want me to take care of it? You guys got more buttons than the Catholic Church, talking about that they got soldiers everywhere, shooters. That's what this team has. You're talking about Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. I mean, all over the map. And then Christian McCaffrey. And then you go to that defense. Dude, if you guys can't get there, what are you doing? You've got to have a guy who can sling it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you bring in Joey Flack? Can you imagine? No, I'm just joking. But honestly, though,
Yeah.
you can't. I don't think you can keep Purdy.
Take the Lions.
Take the Lions.
Take the extra half a point, though.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you what my bet is for this game. I'm taking the under.
You don't think it's going to be a shootout?
51.5 points. I think it comes down to defense. The Lions defense has got to step up real quick. And again, the only way that the San Francisco 49ers win this game is their defense has got to shut down. They got to shut them out. because Purdy's going to make mistakes. It's in his head that Jordan Love came within 3 points of taking them.
All right. I like
So
that.
that's my call.
Everybody in the group chats, Purdy's due for a pick. He's due.
He is.
There were so many opportunities to be had that week,
Yep.
and he didn't. It didn't happen. He went down, and he did the drive of his career where he handed it off to Christian McCaffrey for the game-leading touchdown.
Yeah.
That was his drive of his career. He
Yep.
handed it off, and he said, "Here you go, CMC.
Do your thing.
Take me to the promised land." He
Take me
made
to the
some good throws
house.
before that. He did. He made some
Yeah.
great throws. But at the end of the day, he said, "Here you go. Take us to the promised land." And that's what he's going to have to do again.
And just like that, we're talking about what is the Super Bowl at 3 o'clock on a Sunday, Kansas City
That game
coming.
is the best game.
Dude, it arguably has the potential to be the best game of the year.
Could be.
It's got the potential to, it's got the league MVP along with the against the mini goat. The league MVP against the mini goat.
And
It's
the
got
Swifties.
it's got the defending Super Bowl champions against the up and coming Super Bowl champions. It's got Lamar Action Jackson with a cleared and healthy number 89, the greatest tight end to ever don the Ravens gear, Mark Andrews. It's got Travis Kelce
Shout out Pennis.
versus Zay Flowers. It's got Travis Kelce versus Kyle Hamilton. It's got Kyle Hamilton. It's got Marlon Humphrey versus Travis Kelce. And then it's got that Chiefs defense. So here is, I'm going to give you my outline for the game because it's quick and simple. You already know where I am. Take the Ravens minus the 3.5. I think that line is completely fair. I think it's not overstated. I think the Chiefs should absolutely be a 3.5 point dog anymore. And I would say take the Chiefs. In all honesty, this is a betting show, foremost and outright. It's 3.5 point spread. I love that spread.
Patrick Mahomes is an underdog, man.
But
Does that
here's what I'm
scare you?
not at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Because up until January, and we have said all year long on this show, check the tape, that the Chiefs are a January football team. We've made that clear. But what's been the Chiefs' identity? Dropped passes. When you drop a pass and when you miss your read against this Baltimore defense, this defense either put 7 on you or they put Action Jackson in position to put 7 on you. We create turnovers week after week after week. Williams gets turnovers. Kyle Hamilton gets turnovers. Roquan and Queen force sacks and force turnovers week after week after week. Humphrey forces turnovers. Stone. I'm talking about all guys who have more than 2 picks on the season. Force turnovers. If you do that in our house, dude, it is going to be a long day for you. Now, I respect that Chiefs defense, but you're going against outside of CJ Stroud, the best offensive rookie in the league in Zay Flowers. You're going against the best tight end coming off of injury in 89. You're going against the Gus Bus. You're going against now
Likely he's cooking.
the breakout tight end of the league in
He's telling
Likely
Lamar where to throw it.
where to throw it. You're going against Lamar Jackson, who is the MVP of the league. To say that I'm confident, dude, is an understatement. I think that I had a conversation yesterday. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to say this. If this team wins this game, this will be the most consistent and arguably the greatest Ravens team that has ever been assembled. And mind you, Ray Lewis is not on the field. First time hosting an AFC championship in franchise history and have the ability to get the job done.
I'm not going to try to pump your tires even more because they're already fully pumped and overinflated.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
are.
Like
They're
with
like the
this
U.S.
cold
economy.
weather. Yeah, like this cold weather right now, you get in your car, like you got that check the tires. That's not a thing in Baltimore right now.
No, it ain't.
No.
No, it ain't.
And honestly, I'm with you. Because when I watched that team, when they went down the field on the Texans, now Texans are a different beast than the Chiefs, 100%. But they go 8, 7, 8, 9 minutes down the field where you go,
Mm-hmm.
if they get a touchdown here, this game's over in the third
Yep.
quarter.
Yep.
They remind me of that Eagles team in 17 where you could just go and it was man football. We're gonna do what we want, not
Mm.
what the defense is gonna let us do, what we want to do. We're gonna get the ball to Gus. We're gonna let Lamar run the ball. We're gonna fake play action, let Lamar skirt out with our tackle
Yep.
going downfield,
Yep.
athletes all over the place, and
Yep.
just beat you up man on man. We have the guys, you don't. And that's just a team that just has that confidence. Your coach is dancing in the locker room who knows that these are my guys. I have my guys back. He's been there. He's done it. There's no question marks on this team right now. And I'm 100% with you. We need a song. Like I posted on my story yesterday, Eagles at the NFC Championship game with Hold Up, Wait a Minute. Y'all thought I was in with Meek Mill, everybody in the end zone, like warming up before the game against in 17 against the Vikings, the NFC Championship game. Everybody's in the end zone, getting after it. What is this? This team doesn't need it anymore, but I just want something for this Ravens team just to
We got
that I
DJ
need it.
Diesel. We got DJ Diesel coming in. Did you see that? They got DJ Diesel hosting the pre-show and the pregame. They're gonna
Okay.
have Ray Lewis and Ed Reed on the field
All
before the
right.
game. Honorary
Are
captains.
they gonna come out with their with
Yeah.
Lamar? If Lamar does
Imagine they suit up.
no, if Lamar does the fucking Ray Lewis like come out like
Yep.
and does the dirty, yeah,
All
yeah,
day long. All day long. It'll be crazy.
yep, yep,
But
yep,
here's
yep.
what I
That's
gotta
what I
say to
want.
you.
I want Lamar to come out and hit the Ray Lewis
And
out
hit the
the
red.
tunnel. Yes,
Straight
or
up.
Roquan. Nah, Roquan. Lamar.
Roquan or
Lamar.
OBJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roquan or OBJ. Or no,
No,
or
no, no.
sorry.
Lamar's got to do it. Lamar's the
Lamar's
only one
gotta
with the
do it.
cachet. He's got the two-time
Fair
MVP
enough.
on him. We need the guy to do it. The guy that earned it. He deserves to go out there and says, "I'm the guy. This is
Guy now.
my city. This is
Yep.
my house. This is
I'm
our
Ocho.
night. Let's go. We're going to the goddamn Super Bowl and
Yep.
let's get after it. Let's get this city
I
going.
love it,
Let's
dude.
get it pumped and we're taking it to these guys. These guys aren't nothing. I'm going to take it. I'm going to be the guy. Everybody doubted me. Let's get after it and let's take it to these guys. Let's get after it.
You got, dude. Right now, I feel like that I want to run through a wall. You got to be in that Raven locker room.
Dude,
Here's what I want to say. Here's the last thing that I want to leave off on about the comparison to the 2017 Eagles. I think is interesting. What is that Super Bowl most remembered for? It's not even the ring. It's the Philly special. And the Philly special came out of Tom Brady trying to run that play and failing. Absolutely failing. Do you know what I thought when I thought about that? You know when I thought about that was last week when the Ravens on 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter, Lamar runs it and gets the first down to say, hey, this is my city, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. We're keeping this damn ball. We don't care that we're up by 2 touchdowns. We're not giving you the ball. We're going to send JT down the way to put up another 3 on you, put up
yeah, for
24
the over,
unanswered
by the
points
way, and killed the
for the
bet.
over, killed the bet to give 24 unanswered points in the second quarter. Or sorry, in the second half. So, dude, I love where we're at. I think it's time to go. Take the Ravens all day long. Put, take out a second mortgage and put it on that line.
Put,
Put it
put,
on that line.
put.
Put it on that line, dog. Put it on that line. That's it
What,
for me, bro.
what are we doing? We gotta do a bet. We gotta finish strong here.
All right. What I'm down for is, I mean, I think that straight up,
Do we go do we go
I
two
think
lines and two tutties just to
I
keep
like,
it fair with the
I,
four that we've been doing all year?
I think 2 lines and 2 tutties. I think we do Ravens. Do we do the under in that game? In that,
I hate unders, dude. I hate it.
I know.
Let's take the lines. You like the lines or no? You
Plus
you,
the
you don't like
7,
it. You don't like it though. You think it's a trap.
it is. Everybody's betting the Lions.
I like it though.
I take the Lions outright to win.
Why would you just take the points though? Then if they're gonna win,
Facts.
I want to say Lamar to score a tutty, but
I mean, dude, you're talking about the guy that I don't see that. I think if
I don't
anything,
see it either.
I think it's Mark and I think it's
I
Travis.
like Mark. I like
I
Mark
like
a lot.
I like Mark and I like Travis.
What do we think of Patrick Ricard? Lamar does the fake little
42? Give it to
the no
42?
the fake they do the
Mm-hmm.
rollout left.
Mm-hmm.
They hit Zay Jones coming back. They throw it to Patrick Ricard out the backfield for their own special.
Dude, when you put that 315-pounder in the end zone, there is nothing better than that. Let's see what this is cooking up. Travis anytime,
That's aggressive. That's aggressive though.
Mark anytime, Ravens minus the
How about
Ravens
this?
minus 3.5.
Let's go let's go Lamar rushing. No? You don't like the rushing?
You want to just do a full
Yeah,
parlay of the Ravens game?
no, but I have some ideas for the other one. Let's go Lamar rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go Andrews Tutty.
Let me get the rushing prop in. I'm going to give Lamar. I'm going to
What
give Lamar over
what
50
is
plus
what is
minus
yeah, that's what I was
270.
thinking 50. Yeah.
50 plus.
And then
And
we'll
then
go
the
to the
minus
other
the three and
game.
a half. That's a 4 leg. Okay, give me the
We'll go to we'll go to Amon Ra. You like Amon Ra or no?
We've been betting him every time and he's not giving it, but I
I
think he
know.
steps up. I think he steps up here.
He's
Yep.
gotta.
I think it's
And
him and I
then
think it's
CMC is
Christian
just the value's not there
CMC.
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
but if you
take
put it in on
yeah.
something like this, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are we looking at?
6 legger? Mm,
Keep getting killed by one leg though. It's so annoying.
15 wins you 692.
I like it.
That's a good day.
I
That's
like
a
that.
good day. I would also say if I could throw anything else in there, I would do Jared Goff's passing yards
Okay.
over 255.
I like that.
15 wins you a Gino.
All right. Love it. Love it.
Love it too.
All right. What are
All
we
right,
doing? We're
so
rooting for
let's
Events Line Super Bowl.
we're fuck yeah, we are. Here it is. Here it is, brother. And then we're closing out the show. We got to close the lights here. It's a late night here on the East Coast. Travis anytime, Mark anytime. Ravens minus the 3.5, and Lamar 50 rushing yards or above. Amar St. Brown anytime. CMC anytime. Jared Goff over 255.
Love it.
15 wins you Gino. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you follow Brendan Petrilli, that you follow Harry Heaps, that you follow Cold Ones Conversations and Philly Drinkers. It's 4 counts. You got to do that to be entered to win our 4 free mugs. Tag us on Instagram. We're going to be announcing the winner, the show before the Super Bowl. So in 2.5 weeks, we'll be announcing the winner. Make sure you get your follows in, tag us, DM us if you have any questions. We love you guys.
If
Go Ravens.
you
Yep.
comment other people, tag other
Tag
people,
other people.
you'll get bonus entries also. We're all about fairness here. We want to get that bonuses. We're trying to jack that number up, the best odds for all of us to win. So
We're
if
all
you
about
want
the
to win
bonuses.
these mugs are amazing because Philly Drinkers is the best. Tag everybody, let everybody know we're here. Hopefully the Ravens, we know they're pulling it off and we'll be celebrating in a couple weeks. And hopefully you are too when you get these awesome 4 mugs from phillydrinkers.com.
We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Go Raven.
And go birds too. All birds.
RIP.